Hmm. Can you unpack that? What do you mean by complex? Because we also talked about pedagogy, your experience in undergraduate, and I was thinking about my experience in undergraduate, where out of 3 years, 2 years were devoted to British literature, and the other year was for American literature, right? And Indian lit got maybe a small chunk of that. Most of it was critical theory, culture studies, etc. Um, and when you said that, when we are discussing literature, it should inform us about the experiences that we're having. And I never felt that way. Perhaps because of the text that we were reading were also disconnected from our reality here, or I don't know. But maybe you can also talk about the classroom environment and what you're trying to do in the classroom.
Okay. Um, okay, so to explain what does thinking in more complex ways mean, and I don't even know if that's the right phrase, you know, but what I mean is that in the act of writing, you are layering your thought, you're deepening and expanding your emotion, and you are arriving at positions, judgments that feel a little more, let's say, complex or rigorous, a word that we often use in academic settings, right, than it was before, right? It could be about anything. So, for example, in my course, because my course thematically uh, discusses educational problems. So let's say somebody starts with this thought that, or this feeling that, oh, you know, maths teaching is so bad in high school. Right?
And I'm one of those.
It's a common, thought, and rightly so. Right? It's not great necessarily in a lot of cases. But then to think that, okay, why is maths teaching so bad? So first, even describe that feeling. Maths teaching is so bad. Are those the best words? Is that the best way? Does it describe the fullness of this, moment or problem, right? What is so bad, right? Does it mean that it's disengaging? Why is it disengaging? Is it because, um, you know, the teacher is not able to clearly communicate concepts? Is it because you are not able to comprehend, right? Is it because of the classroom environment, which is very intimidating, and so you're not able to receive, what is being said? So immediately you realize that, okay, math teaching is so bad can be my first sentence, but it's not enough to really describe the problem. So you need more words, you need more sentences, and you have to think, and you have to find words to sort of describe that thought, and it's happening together, right? Um, and then you have to, and with that description, you really open up the problem, and then you begin to understand, okay, how do you analyze this? That's the next step, perhaps. But even that act of description, I feel, you know, is, takes you from a more, let's say, shallow or simple view to a slightly more complex view, right? Why is that important? Because it shifts your perception, right? You're able to see the problem better, and in a sense, I feel like the act of writing, especially writing that is thoughtful, um, can also, expand your agency, right? That is, how do you intervene in that problem, right? How do you respond to the problem, right? It's a way of really understanding what the problem is in a way that it's becoming a little more manageable for you to respond to it, right? Sometimes you also realize that the problem is so big that, okay, individual responses won't matter, perhaps a political response matters, right? So you arrive at those positions sometimes through the act of that critical description, and with that comes